Not all breads hit your energy the same way. Grab the loaf you eat most often and read the first ingredient with me. If the print is tiny, take a quick photo and zoom in. If the label starts with enriched wheat flour, or white flour, that usually means the bread is refined. And for many people, that means energy rises fast, then drops fast, often in the mid-morning, about 1 to 2 hours later. That drop can feel familiar. Sleepiness, foggy thinking, early hunger. Sometimes it is not your whole breakfast, sometimes it is the bread. Here is a quick score you can use today. Red means refined flour first, or less than 2 grams of fiber per slice. Yellow means some whole grain, with around 2 to 3 grams of fiber. Green means whole grain or whole rye first, with 3 grams or more fiber per slice. You do not need to memorize much here. Just remember this: softer, sweeter, lower fiber breads usually hit faster. So let's make this simple. I'll show you 4 breads worth rethinking, what to choose instead, and a 2-week test you can run at home to see which one leaves you steadier by mid-morning. First, the why. Fiber slows absorption, so glucose tends to come in more gradually instead of all at once. Protein helps you stay full and slows stomach emptying. Seeds and more intact grains make the bread denser, so your body has to work a little longer to break it down. That is the pattern to remember: more fiber, more structure, better pairing. Rethink number 1, ultra-soft white sandwich bread. If it feels almost pillow-soft and melts away with barely any chewing, it usually lands in the fast-digesting lane. That can be fine once in a while, but as a daily breakfast bread, it often sets people up for that sleepy, snacky feeling later in the morning. A better choice is true whole grain or whole rye bread with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. Look for a denser crumb and, ideally, visible grains or seeds. It does not have to be fancy. A store-brand 100% whole grain loaf is perfectly fine. And once you spot that pattern, the second one gets easier to catch. Rethink number 2, sugary burger buns or hot dog buns. These often combine refined flour with added sugar, which can make the rise and drop even sharper. A better choice is a whole grain bun, or go open face and use just 1/2 instead of both. Then pair it with real protein from the patty, beans, fish, chicken, tofu, or eggs. A simple label target here is 2 grams of added sugar or less per bun. And if the bun feels extremely fluffy, that is usually your clue to look again. Research often points in the same direction here. Breads with more fiber, more intact grain structure, or fermentation tend to create a smaller blood sugar rise than refined flour breads for many people. That does not make them magic. It just makes them easier on your morning energy. But texture is not the only issue. Size matters too. Rethink number 3, large bagels. One big bagel can easily land in the range of 3 or 4 slices of bread, and it is often made with refined flour. That means you are not just dealing with fast bread, you are dealing with a large portion of it. A better choice is a mini whole grain bagel, or 1 slice of seeded sourdough with eggs, cottage cheese, or salmon on top. Smaller and denser usually works better here. This is one of those swaps that often shows up later as steadier focus for errands, driving, or morning appointments instead of that second coffee feeling at 10:30. Now here is the one that sneaks in because it wears a breakfast label. Rethink number 4, sweet muffins and breakfast pastries. They may sit next to the coffee, but in the body, they often behave more like dessert than breakfast. Fast in, fast crash. A better choice is sprouted toast or seeded sourdough with nut butter, eggs, or cottage cheese, plus berries on the side. And here is a simple trick that helps a lot of people. Eat the protein first, then the bread. That small change can make the whole breakfast feel steadier. So the better lane is clear. True whole grain or rye, sprouted grain bread, seeded sourdough, ideally whole grain or rye-based, or a smaller bread portion paired with protein. If your favorite bread did land in the rethink column, that is okay. You do not need perfect here. One better swap is enough to test. A few quick adjustments so this works in real life. If chewing is hard, lightly toast the bread or choose thinner slices. If you wear dentures, smaller bites and a sip of water between bites can help. If you need gluten-free, choose certified gluten-free whole grain options like buckwheat, quinoa, or brown rice breads. If you're watching sodium because of blood pressure or kidney concerns, compare labels and choose the lower sodium loaf. And if you use insulin or other blood sugar medication, change things gradually and check with your clinician before making a big shift. One common mistake here is buying wheat bread that still looks and feels like white bread. The word wheat on the front does not tell you much. The first ingredient does. So, if the slice is extremely soft, the fiber is low, and whole grain is not listed first, it is probably not the upgrade it seems to be. Now, let's turn this into something you can actually measure. For week 1, keep your usual bread. 90 minutes after breakfast, rate your energy from 1 to 5. Then jot down 3 quick notes: hunger, mood, and focus. Keep it short. 1 or 2 words each is enough. For week 2, keep the rest of breakfast the same, but swap the bread for one better option. Set the same 90-minute timer. Rate your energy again from 1 to 5, and note hunger, mood, and focus the same way. The goal is simple: 1 to 2 points steadier, with less early hunger and less brain fog. Many people notice a difference within a few days. And if the crash is still there, check 3 things before you blame the bread. Was the portion too large? Did you eat protein first? And did the bread come with sugary spreads that pushed the whole meal back into the fast lane? So here is the simple move for today. Read the first ingredient on the bread you already have at home. Then add 1 better loaf to your next grocery list: whole grain, sprouted, or seeded sourdough. Tomorrow, pair 1 slice with 15 to 25 grams of protein and set a 90-minute energy timer. That is enough to start. Continue with the Healthy Aging Mastery playlist, your complete guide to staying strong, steady, and independent. This is educational information, not medical advice.